we are in some kind of dungeon. We just finished some fighting off some bad guys, and then I ended up getting my character ended up getting poisoned. So that called for a long rest.
The long rests are what always get me. For those of you who are playing and don't know, like Dungeons and Dragons, long rest basically resets like your character, so you can like sleep. You use spell slots. That's kind of like what you get to recharge. But I think it's always fun because like whenever I used to play before I started like mainly DMing, our DM would always put our long rests at the most inconvenient time and locations just to make it hard on all of us. But that's one of the fun things about being a DM that I'm gonna pop in and talk about is that mainly like you play God and you get to play God.
Oh.
Which is very, very exciting. So even if like have you guys ever DM before, or you've only been like mainly playing?
Nope. I just play it like I think it's my library, so.
Oh my gosh, well I'm so excited to kind of show you the inner workings of a DM. It's not as scary as it seems. I'm just letting you guys all know this now. When I first started playing, like even regular D&D, it was always something that was kind of like, I don't know where to start. I don't know anything about this. Like, this seems super duper complicated. All of that, and then it's just kind of as you play, you realize like, oh, this is more fun. A lot of it is just kind of like winging it as you go. And honestly, besides like the prep work, playing to me is become like harder than DMing, which is weird. Like being a DM requires a lot of prep work, but once you kind of get over that prep work, it's just a lot of fun. And if you're a mean DM like I am, it's a lot of torturing your players. So I really take the playing God role seriously because it's very fun. Because I can just like randomly smite a character if they're making me upset. Which is don't follow that, but that's just a fun little tidbit. But I'm gonna dive in. I know we have a couple people joining us a little bit later on, but like I said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to stop me. In the TTP RPG resources chat here, I've dropped in all of these links along with a PDF of this little cheat sheet that I've made that I've kind of provided, just like some free resources. So up in the beginning up here, these are just like your typical species class guide. This is mainly if you want to like create characters or want to just like look up the typical like the 5e. All of this stuff is going to be 5e based off of what I'm doing now. Obviously, there's a lot of other areas of D&D that you can get into, like Cyberpunk versions, One Piece versions. Those are other, like, my first campaign I did was, like, a Pokemon one. So it can get complicated and it can get detailed, but we're keeping it 5e just to keep it, like, easy baseline. Also, there's so much information on that. And then these are a couple of links of just character sheet builders. This is D&D Beyond and then Dungeon Master's Vault. I personally like filling out physical sheets, even if I'm playing virtually. I haven't set up a physical, like I haven't been a DM for a physical game yet. I've only been playing online because all of my friends are kind of all spread out. So this is going to be teaching you guys how to virtual DM. So if you want to play with anyone online, no matter where, set up your own game online, this is definitely going to be very helpful. For that, but even still, I like to have physical sheets in front of me just because I like writing things and it's easier to keep track of than a bunch of different tabs open. But this is a Google Drive that we provided with just some fun printable character sheets of different colors, different patterns, different styles, if you guys ever wanted to use that. But jumping into being a dungeon master, so for those of you who are watching, because we're also live on Twitch, and for those of you just listening, basically if you've never played Dungeons and Dragons before, a dungeon master is the game runner. They're the ones that creates the entire campaign, sets everything up, and is basically the ones who run your game. So we refer to them as dungeon masters or DM for short. Some people who play online call them GM for game masters, especially if you aren't doing typical Dungeons and Dragons. Hello. How are you? Welcome in. I'm just going over, no, that's okay. I'm just going over some basic DM stuff. You literally have not missed much. I'm just kind of talking into it, but welcome. Again, if you guys have any questions, just please feel free to stop me. But I'm going to move on to like these helpful tips link. When I first started playing, this kind of was very, very handy for me. Can you still see my stream? Did it pause? There you guys go. Okay. So basically, this is everything that you need to know for like, because obviously memorizing as you play is very hard, but it just like it's a great all like library. So if you want to look at like spells, Microsoft close. So if you want to look at different things, you can always go here and look, especially if you're in the middle of a campaign. I will say, as being like a DM, Google is your friend. Do not be scared to like, sorry, my screen is taking forever to load. Do not be scared to like look stuff up. I've done that before, where like if I needed to find out the stat block of a monster that my party was facing, and they whipped out some like random spell and I needed to like Google what's the damage on this, if this is like, just don't be afraid to have to look stuff up, because that is totally okay. My screen's gonna load. We may or may not end up back here. Yay, okay. And then if you play online, I use Token Stamp as a marker for not just your players, but also other characters that you have. So this is a really great free tool. So basically, whatever you want to do, you can change the border on here, so different patterns, different colors, and then I'll show you guys the screen of what it looks like when you actually make like a character token. But this is just to help you like lay out. You can change the background. Like there's a lot of detailings that you can change around there, and that's just for your characters, just for fun, for funsies, so they can have their own token on your map, so you can kind of move them around. And then here, we're finally going to get into the sites to run the games. So I know that there's tons of different sites out there. For me, my favorite is Owlbear Rodeo, and then I've also used Roll20, but I have Owlbear set up. If I switch screens, can you guys see this? Can you guys? Oh, yes, you can. Okay, perfect. So this is Owlbear Rodeo. I just threw back to a one-shot that I set up actually in here. It was a couple months ago. SC, who's in the chat, or who's in this call right now, she was one of the characters that played. But you can see, if I zoom in, this is the token maker. Like all of these little guys were in the token maker. These were the three players, so they're, hello. Sorry, I moved everything out. So their tokens are detailed compared to all of the NPCs. I made them that way just because I think the NPCs that look chunky are fun. What happened? Hello. So this is Owlbear Rodeo. It is one of my like favorite beginner DM guys. It's completely free, and it's really easy to set up a game and bring in different items. And so for those of you who have never played Dungeons and Dragons before, a lot of movement has to rely on these squares. If you can see my cursor, typical D&D, each one of these squares is 5 feet. So let's say you have a character that moves 30 feet in only one turn. You count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It just like helps you map it out to like the distance. But if you don't want to complete like count, you can do a movement token and actually like map out. Let me zoom out real quick so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So you can move, you can do movement, you can do ruler too if you're just measuring certain things. Let me go into game mode. And it also comes equipped with dice, which makes it really fun. You can change the colors on here if you click this. And you have a variety. I like using this purple one because I think it's fun. And whatever you roll, your entire party will be able to see it. So I feel like that's really helpful, especially if you're playing online. Like I said, I like to do a lot of physical things, and of course I have my physical dice, but it's kind of hard to see, especially if you're a DM and you ask one of your partner or party members to kind of roll for movement or just like do an insight check, and if they're rolling something physical, it's kind of hard to see, and you don't need like an outlier kind of dice extension. It's all completely built in, which I think is really handy, along with just having your own like choice of dice, which is very fun. And then in the DM screen, this is your doc. Oh, it signed me out while I was waiting on here. Give me 1 second. Let me sign in real quick. I'm going to pause this real quick as I sign in, because when I clicked to the other screen, it signed me out. But does anyone have any questions going forward while I do this real quick?
I was just wondering where we could find these links.
Yeah, so if you go in if you see the rest of these channels underneath tabletop games and the TTPRPG resources, I've dropped all of these links, and then I've dropped in that PDF like document that I was on with all of these links together for you guys. So I'm just walking you through everything on it, and then I'm going to kind of do a gameplay and let you guys hop into Owlbear so you can see what it's like from the DM viewpoint, and then also from a player standpoint as soon as I get logged in. But yes, all of the resources that I've dropped in are going to be in there, and then I'm also going to show you guys 2 really great beginner campaigns. Hello, what happened? Give me 1 second. Sorry, it's like not loading. But are you guys able to see the resources, like the DM guide that I was talking about? Can you guys find those?
I have not been able to find them.
Okay, here, let me at you in the channel. Who is it? Darth Shin? Are you the one that's having issues finding it? Let me
Just been.
add you to this right now.
Oh, I can see it here.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, I'm the one who's having problems. George is Finn.
Oh, George's fan. Okay, let me add you to. Let me just tag you in this. I just added you in one of the channels.
I found it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I've put in other links there, but I just kind of compiled the links all into that PDF. Just for you guys. So hopefully that'll be a lot easier. Okay, let me share my screening because I'm going to open up one of the PDFs for you guys and share this. Sorry, my Discord like runs so slow sometimes. Okay, let me know when you guys can see this. Is it loading? Can y'all see? Yeah? Are we good?
I can.
You can? Okay, perfect. So this is, I've dropped in both of the book version, for some reason, Nitro, or I don't have Nitro on my Discord, so it wouldn't let me drop in the full PDF file in the resources thing, and then I had to do a separate link, so I couldn't just link this. So if you guys want the actual downloaded PDFs, drop me your email, and I can email you this PDF of both of the books that I'm going to show you. But these are really great beginner. It has all level, but just campaigns that you can, if you don't want to create your own story. I'll go into creating your own story after this, but if you want to start, if you don't want to start fresh and kind of get used to being a DM, these books are a great place to start. Keys from the Golden Vault, I picked one of these for the other one-shot that I recently ran, but they have collections for every different level, so you can start off players as level 1, or you can go all the way up to, I think, level 15 heist on here. But basically, these are just really great DM books that let you, that kind of just give you an entire storyline that all you need to do is just plug and play and follow along. So, for example, the heist that I used from this, level 5, and I had all of my players start at level 5, so it even gives you maps that you can look at, and then it tells you where the guards are, what the locations are, their stat blocks. But I'll go down to the one that I was running, which was this one. So this one takes place in an afterlife casino, and it was mainly set for a little bit of higher level characters. If you're doing a campaign, so campaigns are adventures that take place over a long period of time. And campaigns, you typically want to start your players off level 1, and then as they progress throughout the storyline and fight creatures, fight enemies, kind of just bond with each other, that's when you can level them up over time. But if you do a one-shot, which is just a one-and-done session, you basically run through the entire adventure beginning to end in one sitting. I typically like to start those higher level just because it gives your characters, it gives your players more fun events to do. Someone put in the chat that they're interested in one-shots, which is perfect because I did the Stygian the Stygian Gambit is a one shot. So I chose this as one of the one shots that I did that I'm about to walk through. So I'm happy that you're interested in one shots. I'm sorry that you can't stay for the full time, but I will try to run through this as fast as I can to give you a brief overview. And then after this, I'm also hosting a one-shot next Tuesday that you guys can be a part of. And if you're ever interested in DMing or trying to run or host your own one-shot, I can completely help you. I can do an offline call, help you set that up, and give you guys a platform to host your own one-shot or campaign. Oh my gosh, okay, perfect. I will try to get as much information as I can while you're here. But so this is, if you're interested in a one-shot, I like the Keys to the Golden Vault handbook, which is this PDF that I'm on right now, because a lot of the stories are heist focused, which means it's a lot of story, a lot of talking, and it gives your characters a chance, it gives your players a chance to really get into a character since you're only in a short amount of time. I do love a lot of super action-based fighting, but for those of you who have played, a lot of fighting-based stories can be a little, I guess, longer for players just because Dungeons & Dragons is a turn-based game. And depending on the amount of players you have, if you have 6 players, you will probably be sitting there not doing much, waiting for your turn. So that's why I really like a lot of story-based one-shots, because it gives you every player a chance to explore different areas, talk, kind of really role play their character and get to know their character. Someone said, sorry, I'm new to Discord. I'm using my dad's account. How should I send you my email for these books? You can just type in your email in this chat, and then I can just email you these PDFs. So no worries. And then I can also send you the cheat sheet earlier because I know you're having trouble finding that in the resource guide, so I can send over that PDF as well. And I'll just email it to you so you guys can have all of these. Thank you for asking that. But basically, this is like the whole layout of the Gambit starting the adventure. It literally gives you an entire brief. It gives you a summary of, I can't highlight things in here, but it gives you a summary of the overview of the story, how to role play different characters. So it gives them like bold, confident, and kind, so you know what kind of performance to put on as a DM. One of the best things I think about being a DM is the ability to not be stuck to one character. You play as the good guys, the bad guys, the villains. You create the story. You are the center. You are the heart of it. And for me, that's why being a DM has honestly been more fun than playing, because you get to do it all. So going back to kind of this PDF, it talks about the different like parts of the store. I won't go into the full store, but I'll just like let you guys see how basically cookie cutter these are. It provides you with a map of certain players, so you can literally add this into whatever platform you're using to play. It tells you like the different ways that your players can get in. It kind of preps you for everything that could happen. It tells you like the details of like the security mirrors, how many like employees are going to be there, the different like types of games that you can play. And it's really easy if you're a beginner just to follow. And so you'll see things like DM's map, and going back to Owlbear Rodeo, I'm going to let you guys kind of look over this. Let me pull up my other. Oh, thank you for your. Hopefully, I'm going to close out this chat. I don't think anyone else can see it, but I just copy and pasted your email. So I have that. Thank you. So I will send that email in. And if anyone was able to see that, please don't spam. Please don't spam each other's emails. But if anyone else would like these, any of these documents or PDFs, you can hop in the Discord. If you can't find it, then yeah, I just send me like a DM, a message, and I can email it to you. Okay. Let me close out of this. Sorry, I was just noting down your email. Hopefully no one can see that. I'm also pulling up Owlbear Rodeo so you guys can see the comparison. Sorry, with opening up the PDF and running Discord, my computer is just running very, very slowly, so please bear with me with the technical difficulties. Does anyone have any like questions? I know we got a main focus on one-shots, so I'm going to show you kind of how I turn this story into a one-shot right now. But does anyone have any questions on like just kind of where to start as a DM or anything that I've gone over so far that I can help answer? You can either put it in chat or say it out loud as I'm waiting for my computer to slowly load. Someone put in the chat. You mentioned how long. Sorry, I'm trying to open up the chat and it's just frozen. Okay. I'm so psyched.
I can come off mute if it's helpful.
Okay.
You have to like keep trying to process everything. Yeah. So basically, like I'm new to all of this, and I have some ideas in mind, but I definitely want to understand how. Are there any tweaks I can make to a campaign to make it more of a one shot? Like you were talking about earlier, how it's probably easier to choose campaigns that don't have a lot of fighting because that takes a long time. So any other tips like that, that even if I had a campaign that was fighting, but I want to make it a one shot, any tips like how to kind of reduce the gameplay to be one shot versus the longer ones? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
No, that totally makes sense. And don't take this as like don't do anything fighting. Like fighting is so fun, and I do love fighting. Like there's always going to be fighting in a gameplay. But there's multiple ways that that you can go about this. So for example, like if you see when you're putting this together, like you're the DM, you're the mastermind. Like you don't have to follow a lot of these stories word for word, bar for bar. Like you can, if you like certain parts, like for example, if you like this casino floor map and you kind of want to use this layout, but you don't like the idea of like having to play one of the casino games to like go find the key and you want to do something else, like it is completely up to your story. You can add in whatever characters you want, and kind of throw that to like where you are and where you want to be. I'm explaining that bad. Let me pull this up right now. I'm sorry that everything's taking so long to load. But I'm going to share the Owlbear Rodeo scene so you can kind of see what I'm saying better. Let me switch screens. If it'll let me. Okay, we're gonna go back to this screen. I'm gonna minimize this. Are you guys able to see?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. For some reason, it like I think it's my computer that's just not letting me like sign in to my account. It keeps signing me out of here, and I think it's just because it's like taking forever to load. And I'm sad that you can't see the full screen. I'm gonna try to figure this out like as soon as I finish explaining this. But for example, like this tavern wasn't in the beginning of the like that PDF that I just showed you. I added this in as a way for all of the players to like come together and meet. And I gave all of these different characters just like a name and a random backstory so your players could come in here and kind of like grab a drink, look at the board, like just talk to people or just kind of like get into that role play mindset. And going back to your question, like how to change things, this wasn't even added and I added it in just because I wanted to, and I wanted to give like a little tavern feel to the storyline. So you could definitely do that. You can add different rooms and kind of change the story to how you feel. My original sorry, my computer is still loading. My very first one shot that I ran, I actually didn't use any of these PDF like storylines, mainly because I didn't know where to find them. And if I had one, I definitely would have used that because I do like following the storyline. But I started completely from scratch. I went in Owlbear Rodeo and put in a bunch of like different pages. Like I had a tavern scene, I had a forest scene, and I would just Google like 5e kobold like stats, like a stat block for a kobold, which is like a little kind of tiny dragon person looking, it's like a lizard looking thing. And so like I made them scattered throughout the forest, so my party members would basically get ambushed by them, and I made up my entire story. So you could definitely do stuff like that, or you can just cut out scenes that you don't find necessary. But I will say, as a DM, one thing you kind of have to be not wary of, just like you have to know that no matter what you plan, it's the story isn't going to go exactly to how you plan, because you have no idea how your party's going to react, how your members are going to play. Like I could have set up this entire tavern and made it like a storyline and made certain characters actually be vital. Like they have to talk to one of these NPC players that would give them like secrets to how to get to like the next room or something like that. And I could have a party member that's just like, let me like go into rage mode and kill every single person in here. And like that could just throw all of my plans out the window and I'd have to wing it as I play, because like that's happened before. Like your party members are unpredictable, but that also is what makes it more fun. And what a lot of people don't realize is like 90% of the time your DMs are just winging it. If something goes astray, they're like, oh, like let me look this up. It's easy to get back on track, but it also makes it like more fun because you're just kind of being very impulsive, I guess, with your decisions and what you do. I saw that you put in another chat. I'm so psyched. My chat will not load and open up right now. Would you mind?
No worries. Yeah, I just said that because you had mentioned that you created a tavern in here anyway, and I'm like, yeah, because all D&D campaigns have some kind of tavern. That's all I was saying.
No, literally, you can't have a D&D campaign without a tavern.
Without a tavern. No, that's what I figured as much. So all good. But I did want to call out, Jorgensen said, do you happen to have a YouTube channel or stream that we can find anywhere else? Being able to do this, the birthday present for me, I'm an April Fool's baby. Oh, well, happy birthday, first of all. This is really interesting, though, and I would love to learn more about this. Just don't know if I can do this again. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is currently live on Twitch, and we're also going to record this, so we can definitely post it to YouTube. And we're doing Tabletop Tuesdays every single Tuesday. So last week we did a character building workshop. Sorry, my like entire computer is just glitching out right now. Last week we did a character building workshop. This is a DM workshop. And then from here on out, we're going to start running actual one-shots. So if you want a chance, if you also want to offline at any point and you guys came here, you want to use a lot of the resources, but you needed help kind of getting stuff set up, literally send me a message, send me a DM. I'd be happy to hop on a call and help you guys kind of create your own one-shot that if you wanted to like hop in on a Tabletop Tuesday and host it yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. If you like can't find party members, we can help put something together for that. But this current video that this current I guess workshop that we're in right now will definitely be recorded and posted to YouTube. Again, apologies for my slow computer, but no worries if you can't come to one of these again. Just send me a message. I will email you all of these documents. And the YouTube channel is just the gamehers. And you can see all of our past events that we've done also on there. This is kind of like we just started our tabletop Dungeons and Dragons focused kind of area right now, so we don't have many YouTube videos up. I think we only had our character builder workshop up so far, but the character building sheets that I used and the species and class lists are also on that PDF that I put in there for you, so you can already use that and see that. But yes, and if you're ever interested in playing, join us on Tuesdays. I'm going to have one shot ready for next week, and then, like I said, if you guys ever wanted to take the reins and try to DM your own one shot, I can help you set up a campaign. I could have a campaign prepped for you, whatever you need, whatever you would like. Let me try getting this up one more time if my computer would like to load so I can actually show you guys Owl Bear Rodeo. Was I able to answer your question? I'm so psyched. Did that make sense with what I was saying?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, it's a lot of it is just kind of leaving it up to your imagination, and I feel like that's just such a big part of Dungeons and Dragons. The PDFs are definitely there as a great guideline, but even if you don't want to follow the storyline completely, you don't have to. If you want to start from scratch, you can. I'm really trying to get logged in here so I can show you guys what I've made. Okay. Are both of these going to work? Hello. Maybe. Oh my god, okay. Can you guys see? How do I switch screens right now? Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry, for those of you who know me and are watching this, you know that my computer is an absolute dinosaur. So she's trying her best currently, but her best is not cutting it. Oh my gosh! All right, we are in. Can you guys see this with what I'm doing?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna drop the link in here just so you guys can hop in and kind of see what it looks like on a player screen versus a DM screen, because right now I'm on the DM screen. So I'm gonna drop this in chat. If chat would like to open up for me. There we go. So hop into the Noble Taco. This is on Owlbear Rodeo. So you can see down here, this is a DM guide. So you're basically the all-seeing eye. I have stuff hidden off to the side. And you have different scenes. So like I said, this is kind of the tavern scene that I opened up in. It's an opening scene. I can click here and you can see all of the different scenes that I've set up. And this goes along with the Afterlife Casino, which was the PDF that I was showing you guys earlier from Keys of the Golden Vault. Oh my god, I see you guys in here. Hello, and welcome in. So you guys can play around with just like moving around characters. Like I said, there's the ruler button, so if you want to like measure a certain movement and see, oh, this is 20 feet, this is 30 feet, it goes by that. You can play around with the different tools, but then I can change scenes and have you like go to the opening scene. And now, if it loads, huzzah. We are now in the casino, which was the map that you saw earlier. But what you're going to notice, stream can't see this because they're seeing this from my angle, but the players aren't able to see all of these like little cheat sheets that I've put off to the side. So basically all of the players can see is just this like glowing, just this bright map. This is the DM's map of the Afterlife Casino that I've grabbed from that PDF. And then I also put in a stat block of the two like main enemies. So the like big boss monster is a Minotaur skeleton. This also wasn't in the PDF. I added this in because, like I said, the keys for the Golden Vault are mainly heist focused. So you would just have to do a lot of combat with thugs, which are just like minor characters. But I wanted to add in a stat block. I mean, not a stat block, a boss fight for my players. So I just literally screenshotted this from Beyond 20, a Minotaur skeleton, so I could like see, keep an eye on stats, all of the different actions, and without having the rest of my players see that. Also, the like cheat sheet of the map, so I know like what area everything is in. There's my little pointer. So I see you guys in here having fun, but like I added in the horse-drawn carriage. Oh, I just put you guys out of there. Let's go back to the Noble Taco. But yes, what I really like about Owlbear Rodeo is that you can kind of categorize things as different scenes. And for a free site, you as a DM hold a lot of power. So there's different maps. And so these are kind of the cheat sheets that you see around here. I just added those in as little maps so you can put on the side. And then you have props. These are all of like where I keep my NPCs, and this is like the main statue trophy. If you're a player, you can't see any of this. You don't get this screen. And then I have mounts, which is the little horse-drawn carriage that I used as like the storyline progresses. You guys hop in a carriage, and that's how you enter the Afterlife Casino. And then of course, I have all of my players here, and then these are all made on the token maker that I also dropped on that PDF sheet. So you can see all of the different Quentin Toggle Pocket. That's such a fun name. That was such a good one. And so you're able to kind of see all of that. Let me go back to scenes and open up the very last scene. So this was kind of a map of just like, this also wasn't part of the PDF. This is kind of going back to I Am Psyched is question of like, how do you change it? I wanted to add more depth into kind of giving like a backstory of where my players are from, what area we're going to be in. So I just added in like the nation that we're in. I completely made up. This was literally just a random map that I got off online just to kind of add to the story. That you can definitely do that. And also what I like about Owlbear is when you fight, there's an initiative tracker. So let me open up one of these so you can actually see the characters. I can say, I can promote you guys if I want to, but I can do an initiative tracker and select add to initiative. And then also I'm going to do it to this person and add to initiative. And so when you roll, where's it? 20. Hello. We're going to roll loads. Pretty please. Ha 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 ha. 10. And so I can say Eliza rolled a 10. And then, for example, I'm just going to put you as 5. And so it tracks your initiative. So once you have, like, your players can roll for initiative. I just manually inputted this just to show you guys how to do it. But, like, let's say you guys are into, like, a big battle and there's, like, the turn sequence. When you all, for those of you who have never played before, when you roll for initiative, it always goes highest roll to lowest roll, and that just is your turn order. So Eliza will go first, and then Bronwyn would have rolled after and gone after. But this just tracks your initiative, so everyone knows, like, oh, whose turn is it? When am I coming up? Do I have enough time to, like, prep for my next move? Like, which I think is really nifty, so you don't have to manually keep track of it. It does it all on here. And this is everyone who's in. And like I said, I've already shut off the dice, which I think is very fun. And a fun thing about it is also I can hide my roll as a DM. So like if I'm rolling for like the skeleton minotaur and I didn't want to show like what roll I got, or if I'm just like doing some sneaky stuff, I can hide rolls so the rest of the team can't see it. And then if I wanted to add an advantage or disadvantage, you can also add that on here, and it adds or subtracts it to your total roll. So if you had advantage, you can just add your advantage and then roll again. And it'll roll for my advantage. That was such a bad roll. For 2 advantage? That's crazy. A 3? That's crazy. For those of you who were here last week that watched me, I literally crit failed twice. I was trying to make a character sheet and I rolled a 1 twice. That dice that I used is now in, and I'm never using it again. That was probably the worst roll that I've ever gotten. But there's so many other tools that you can use. If you want to like label your characters, you can add text. You can actually put their name beneath it. It's not really loading right now, but you can see my little text bubble right here. So I typed in hi, but you can type in this character's name and it adds text to right there and it'll stay on that character. So you can just have their name on there. You're able to hide certain items. It's super fun. Let me take you guys back into the other.
I'm sorry to sneak away, but I did want to say thank you for the overview so far and looking forward to connecting with you to learn more about this.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Oh my god, what happened? I am so happy you had fun. Again, send me an email and I will let you, if you need help creating your own campaign, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye. So I kind of opened this up so I could show you guys kind of how to create your own arena. This loads because this is just not wanting to load. Fresh screen, yay. So basically, I just took screenshots from this and I dropped it in here. But Owlbear, you just literally drag and drop as a DM, and you're able to shrink, rotate, move around, whatever you need. And then you can also, what's really cool is, hello, if you wanna work for me. If you hover over this, you'll see a lock button. And you can lock that, and that means other players won't touch it. So if I want like all of my NPCs locked, so no one like kind of messes around with that, I can also hide it. So if I want like some villains to be hidden and kind of make it like an ambush, I can hide it and only I see that on my screen. So that's something that I really like about Owlbear. I also dropped in Roll20 onto the PDF sheet too. I've used Roll20 before to set up a campaign, and it's been fun, and I do really like Roll20. I know a lot of people favor that site, but at least for me, I've just found this to be more user-friendly, Owlbear at least, and I just like the different like add-ons you can get. I haven't added on a lot of the extension, but there's also like a music extension. There's a bunch of other extensions that you can add on besides dice and initiative tracker. I just wanted those ones mainly. So you can see just the full like kind of what I have down in here. I haven't added any notes or anything, but this is just what I've like mainly used within my storyline, and I've kind of reused a lot of these this stuff beforehand. So that was just an overview of kind of the one shot that I set up. I'm gonna go back to the other PDF because I have two PDFs that I wanted to share with you guys and add on. If this would like to load. Let me. Give me 1 second, everyone. Does anyone have any questions so far on like Owlbear Rodeo? Was I going too fast? Did I like, do you want me to explain more?
I'm actually liking the looks of it.
Are you liking, did you say not liking?
Oh, I am liking the looks of it. Sorry, I am. I've never used it before, but it definitely looks very interesting.
It's definitely very interesting. Like, it's not for aesthetic purposes. Roll20 is gonna be like, it's gonna look more so Dungeons and Dragon-y ish. And so as a player, from a player's perspective, I prefer Roll20. But from a DM perspective, just creating one shots, I've just found Owlbear to be so much easier because it's a lot easier to just drop in maps, drop in characters, kind of add things. Whereas Roll20 for me, I was having a lot of issues like implementing kind of maps and doing like the whole like measurement grid. But that's also just partially user error because I'm still fairly new at DMing. I haven't been doing it for too long. But yeah. So, I mean, everything's up to preference. That's why I dropped in a couple of options, so you can always play around with it and see whatever ones you guys like. This is the other PDF that I also dropped into the resource guide, Tales from a Yawning Portal. Keys of the Golden Vault is more heist focused, whereas this is going to be more like adventure focused. There's like some fightings, mystery solving. More encounters are going to be with this storyline. So that's why I dropped in both PDFs, depending on what you like as a DM. I mean, I'm going to say this, like, kind of going out. I feel like every DM has their preference. I'm more of a story-based DM because I'm a big fan of role-playing, and I really like getting into the characters, and I like seeing my players get into their characters. So I want to give them as many options as I can to kind of show off their personalities, because you spend a lot of time making your character sheets, and you really want to, like, become one with your character. And you do get that with a lot of, like, fighting and more, like, combat and encounter-based games. However, I've just found, like, at least from me being a player in my experience, I've played with, like, groups of at least, like, 5 to 8 people. So during a lot of encounters, it's me mainly sitting there for, like, an hour waiting for my turn to come and then, like, listening to everyone else. Whereas if it's more like storyline, I can kind of explore more. At least that's just for me, and I think that I have more fun setting that up because I can give every single character, like, a different background. But like I said, I provided both options because I know some people are very, like, fighting focused and aren't really, like, super into the let me become one with my character. But this is very similar to Keys of the Golden Vault. It literally has your entire story laid out for you, the different creatures. It tells you where to stand, what their stats are, kind of the different areas. I mentioned kobolds earlier. These are what they look like, kind of like little dragon lizard people. They're very fun. Their intelligence is very low, but they're cute, so that's okay. They look like these little guys. They're fun to fight.
Sorry.
No, you're totally okay.
I was gonna say
What were you saying?
I played in a one-shot before where I actually had to battle against Kobold, and I have a half-orc bard, and she loves Vicious Mockery, and one of her insults was, your mother was a gecko.
No! That's so funny. That's so good. Kobolds, very low intelligence, very easily angered, but I love them so much. They're little guys. But the first one shot that I created, I actually had an area with a swarm, like an entire swarm of kobolds that were hiding, and that did a whole sneak attack. It was so much fun. It was a great time.
That sounds like fun.
But I do love them. They hold a special place in my heart, for sure. I'm gonna go back to the resource guide. I can pull up Roll20 for you guys. I had one preset game on Roll20, but I think my account got logged out because I haven't used it in a little bit. But besides that, I know that we're live on Twitch right now, and I don't have Twitch open because my computer was actually going to crash if I had the Twitch chat open. If anyone is on Twitch and is asking questions right now, I am so sorry. If you are, I apologize. My computer is just crashing left and right. SC, if you are here and listening, did anyone put any questions in the Twitch chat? Because I forgot to check in on that. Actually, maybe I can take a peek. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if I can take a peek real quick. Actually, no, I'm not gonna risk that. My poor computer is gonna go crazy mode. But did any of you guys in here have any other questions? That was kind of just a basic 101. This was mainly just kind of explaining a little bit about what it takes to be a DM, give the resource guide, and just kind of walk you guys through. Is there any questions? If there's anything in specific that you guys wanted me to kind of go over or walk with you on, if you're interested in how a campaign works or how DMing a one shot would work.
I do have a quick question. I apologize. It may not have anything to do with DMing itself, but for the incoming one shots for the coming weeks, can we pick our own characters, or will there be characters provided for us?
Oh yeah, either or. So I had a couple of people do the workshop last week, and they're bringing the characters that they made during that. So if you have an old character that you would like to reuse, feel free. I will send out more details later, but I'm probably going to say no stronger than like a level 8 character, but no weaker than a level 6. So we have a nice middle ground. I will kind of probably say between like level 6 and 7. That's probably the one shot that I'm going to be running at. So if you have a character stronger than that, you can level them down. If you have one higher than that, you can level it up. Or if you just don't know how to make a character and don't know where to start, I can also provide baseline characters. But if you have your own character that you love and that you want to use, you're more than welcome to bring them.
Okay, I do have a level 5, so I don't know if that would be nearly all my characters are either level 2 or level 5. So I'll work something out.
Yeah, if you need help leveling up your character, I can help level up. I'll get a gauge. I'll ask whoever is gonna play what baseline, like what character, what level their characters are at, and if it's like a consensus where everyone's like, oh, we're between like level 5, then I'll definitely have them keep that and do like that kind of baseline. But if there's some people who are like, oh, I only have like super strong, I form my sessions around my players just to make them more comfortable. Obviously, especially if a lot of like new players are coming in and you don't want like a super crazy hard campaign or like have to deal with a really high level character, because sometimes that can also be confusing. So no worries on that. Just keep an eye out for posts when I start getting like questions on what kind of players we have. I know that we already have a wizard signed up and a assassin rogue, I believe, are the two characters that I know for a fact that are going to be playing. And I will find out their levels. I think they might also be around level 5 or level 6. So your level 5 character will probably be good. But also, if you wanted to ever try DMing, like I said earlier, I can always offline and like help you make your own one shot. Or if you want to just do this completely on your own and come back and just like use, like if you need to find a party, we can definitely do that. If you'd like to host your own, you're always welcome to. Tabletop Tuesdays, that goes for anyone watching. Tabletop Tuesdays are always open. So if you're interested in DMing, playing, hosting, just let us know and we'd be happy to provide the platform for you guys.
Sounds awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. If no one has any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, this was just kind of like a quick run through. Hopefully I was able to give you guys some good helpful resources and show you different ways that you're able to help in DM. Hopefully that wasn't confusing and hopefully that actually helped figure out what a DM was. If it did not, I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm still semi-new to DMing, so I tried my best here given just my prior experience. But I will, George Given? Is that how you say it? I will send you an email with with both PDFs and the resource guide. And Darth Shingetsu, if you also would like an email, because I know the links that I dropped in there. If you just want like these your email, I can send you an email.
Oh, okay. I think I'll be. I think I'm okay with that. I have access to the links, but thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem. And that goes for anyone else watching. Just send a message, ping in our platform, in the Discord, anywhere, and I can personally send you these PDFs. If not, our resource guide is under our tabletop and RPG resources. Over on our Discord, I will also drop them on our platform for everyone. But thank you all so much for coming and watching. I hope I was able to help and not make this as confusing. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week to actually start playing. It's going to be a one-shot. Super excited.
Oh, I can't wait. You did good today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes me happy. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and tomorrow is Watch Party Wednesday. So we're going to be raiding a stream. So if you guys want to come along and just be an extra raider with us, join us over on Twitch, and we're going to be picking a random streamer to go raid.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and I hope everyone enjoyed. And if they have any questions, I am always online, so feel free to ping. But thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys.